I'm going to try this again because last week I had a go at doing this video and realised I hadn't pressed record. So after recording it for half an hour, or rather not recording it, just basically talking to my PC screen like a madman, I realised that I hadn't actually pressed the record button. So yeah, I was quite frustrated. So it's taken me a week to gather myself to put this video together again for you. So it's the one that at least two people have been waiting for. It's it'll be my monthly sales update from May. I'll give you a little chat about the whole month's gone. I know we're way into June by now, but I think it'll be good for us all to have a look and see how far it's gone for me in the last 4 weeks or so. Just how excellent it's been, really. Don't have many negatives to say, to be honest with you. Everything's gone great. I've taken a little bit of time out from it at the moment because I'm currently covering my ex-boss's holiday at Cash Converters where I used to work. So I've been there for the last week and a half. Be finishing there in the next couple of days. So I'll be getting right back on eBay then. I haven't listed a single thing in a week and a half. So yeah, just been obviously still working at the pub as well. So I've been a super busy boy. But the great thing about eBay, and it's something really I haven't experienced until now, is that when you increase your inventory to a certain amount, you're still going to get consistent sales, even when you're not adding to that inventory. So today's the first day in a very long time where I haven't had a single sale all day, which is fine. I also haven't listed anything, but in the last week, I've not put a single thing on eBay, and yet I've had tons of sales. I've had a really, really good week. Not my best week, but a really, really good one. That's without any work on the part of eBay. So it just shows by spending the time and growing your inventory, that can help create this passive income. I know that's a bit of a buzzword at the moment, especially in the UK. It is something that sort of people dabble in, but I think eBay is a perfect example of it isn't passive income. People think it's something that you just don't work to do. It's something that just happens automatically. You've got to put in that groundwork to begin with, and eBay is a great example of what you can achieve by the initial outlay. Sort of once you've got those sales ticking along, as long as you're kind of topping up your inventory, keeping it at the sort of level that you want, you'll find that those sales will just trickle nicely for you and provide you with a reasonable source of income, whatever that might be, and allow you to free yourself up and make more use of your time to go and pursue other avenues of income, to pursue different career paths, or furthering your education, learning hobbies, things like that. So I think eBay really does open up, and selling in general online opens up a real massive world of possibilities once you free yourself from the sort of shackles of the need of a 9-to-5 job. I mean, and it's not for everyone to take a particular sort of mindset, I think, to be able to come away from this, from a job, and from the safety and security of having holiday pay and sickness pay. But yeah, I think once you do it and you step out onto that open space and you don't fall down, you kind of float instead, and it's like, oh, this is absolutely amazing. So yeah, I'm absolutely dying to get cracking again with my eBay because I've got so much to list. I'm like so much work to do. It's crazy. But I'm really, really positive, really looking forward to it. So, okay, so we're doing a little bit different today. What we've got here is an app I've got up and running on my PC called Loom. So it's doing a screen capture. Hopefully it's working. Hopefully it's recording. I've got a little red dot this time on the computer showing me that it should be recording. I think it is, yeah. So it's showing me what's on the screen. There's a little picture of me in the corner, a little miniature version of me. Okay, so what we're going to do here now is just I'm going to whiz down and show you. I did talk to you about my first couple of weeks in May. So let's bring this down now to the totals for the month, and we can have a talk about that and see where we are. If you have a look on the screen here, as I'm clicking on something, it's highlighting it in orange. So if there's anything of interest there, I'll try and highlight it for you so you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So we're still getting used to this, so just bear with me a minute. Right, so we're going to move on down here to, yes, okay, so these are my totals for May. So all in all, I sold 96 items, as you can see on there. Started at 2, went down to 98. So 96 items. Total cost price in those is £420. Sale price was just over 2,100. eBay fees there, PayPal fees there. Let's click that so you can see. That's my profit after everything else has come off. and that is my average profit margin on everything. So it's 66%, which is nearly perfectly 2/3. So for every pound I make on eBay, 66% of that is profit. Now, that profit isn't money in your pocket. There's two things you need to consider. You need some of that to reinvest back into money for new stock. You need to decide how much you're willing to spend a week on stock to allow you to carry on building your inventory up. And obviously you need to allow for tax on your profits. So what I've recently started doing as of the last couple of weeks now, I have actually opened now separate account. It's a Vanguard investment account. I have actually been paying into one for a while, but I've left it for the time being. So anyway, I've started paying into that regular income from here. It's a high interest investment account, which I will talk about in another video because it's absolutely amazing things. If you fancy dipping your toe in the water, it's very, very low risk. I won't say it's without risk, but it is very, very low risk. So I've been getting the sort of returns on that in the last year or so has been like sort of 15%. So I'm going to put my money in there. And then at the end of the tax year, any tax, whatever's owed, will hopefully come out of that. And that money's actually been there growing and gaining interest for me and working for me a little bit, which sort of helps take the sting off it a little bit. I mean, the end of it all, really, the aim is to pay as little tax as possible by, maximizing all your deductions, making sure you put everything through. Obviously, I'm using as much as my profits as possible to buy more stock and only taking out money that I need to live, as a bare minimum, really. I do have a small part-time job that is sort of sustaining me, but I mean, it's not much. It's like £100 a week. And I'm trying to take £200 a week consistently out of my eBay money as wages for me. So that really should sort of be my taxable income. I don't need a lot to live on. I lead a pretty frugal life. I'm at a point now where very, very happy with what I've got. We've bought a house. I've got a second-hand car. It's like a couple of grand car, nothing flashy. I own pretty much everything I'll ever want to own. And as long as I can sort of live comfortably and, go out once in a while and, have to treat myself and family to nice things once in a while, then that's kind of all we want, really. And then obviously the business takes off like I would hope it to. And it comes to the point where I can take more money out, then, we'll do that and reevaluate it at that point. But just for now, if I can have an income of £300 a week, that's happy days. That's fine. Let's have a look. Right then, so to drill down into these numbers a little bit more, there's my average selling price is £21, just under £22. So yeah, that's really, really good. I sold 98 items there. Overall profit is 1,400. Doesn't quite match that. Don't know why. I've had a few cancellations, which this number here, my total sales would have been a little bit higher this month, but I had a couple of returns, 3 returns out of 98, so that's not bad. 2 of them was the customer's issue. 1 of them was my fault. It was I mislisted an iPod as a 7th gen and it was a 6th gen. So apparently they're really hard to tell. There isn't a traditional 7th gen on the iPod Classic. It is just a slightly different version of the 6th gen. So I just genuinely, it was a mistake. I listed it as the wrong thing. So relisted it for £20 cheaper and sold within a week. So yeah, I was happy about that. Okay, so moving further down now here. These are some of my expenses. So this is how I track them. These are all my eBay and Amazon purchases that I've bought for the business. So a couple of Nintendo controllers. I've been trying to make a note of all the things that I've bought on Facebook from people. Now, the difficulty here is I still need to show these as expenses because this is stock that I've bought that I shouldn't have to pay tax on because it's money that I've used from a business to buy more inventory. The difficulty buying from Facebook is that obviously you can't ask for a receipt. So I'm trying to come up with some way of having like a template that I can get people, significant amounts, anything over £50. They just sign like a template sheet to say they've sold something to me. No liability on their part, just literally proof of a receipt that I've bought that item from them for a set price and a brief description of the item. So for tax purposes, then I can hopefully put it through. And if the tax HMRC was ever to investigate it, they'd be able to at least see a little bit of a paper trail for these items without a receipt. Okay, so yeah, there's a few items there that I've bought. Speaker cable, a few accessories and things. I've made a note when I've taken money out here to spend. So this here, for example, I took £30 out of the cash machine to spend at press time market. Again, it's not the kind of thing I can get receipts for, unfortunately. So it just helps me sort of keep track of my spending more than anything. Let's have a look. What else do we have on here? Nothing really exciting there. So yeah, quite a lot of expenses. in May, which is fine. So this has come out of my profits, obviously. So coming down here, I've got nearly as many expenses as I have sales, actually. So yeah, my total out for the month, what I've done here is got my fuel expenses in. I've got receipts for pretty much most of these. All these here is like purchases from charity shops. So I've gone through my box of receipts, keep all your receipts, keep them organized month by month. At the end of each month, total them all up like I've done here. And brief note of where they're from, what the corresponding receipt is. This is all for purchasing stock. And then I can add them up. And again, these will get deducted from my profits at the end of the month, which is like less money then that you have to pay tax on. So if you can see here, the few things here, British Heart Foundation, Cats Protection, these are all just charity shops. Cash Converters, that was something I bought, can't remember what it was. Can't see that because it's hidden by my massive head. I'm going to add the receipt there, some pans that I bought. And the good thing is as well, this here, we stayed over in Liverpool, my partner and I, overnight, and I've put the hotel, it was a Premier Inn, so it was just cheap and cheerful hotel. I've put that through as a business expense because I did some sourcing on the day in Liverpool. We stayed over, and then the following day we went around and I bought more stock as well. So as long as you're not taking the mick and staying in posh hotels, you're doing it, every week. I think once in a while you can certainly put a hotel stay through if you can show that it was for work, which this one was. So yeah, done that. Fuel can obviously go through. So that's, hotel Premier in there, 66 quid. So my total out for May was 1,600. So I took that off the 2,100 that I made further up there. And my taxable profit for the month is £455, which is great. That tallies in with the wages that I've paid myself as well, just about. So yeah, that matches that. So they're my figures for May. I've chosen to spend that much money. I didn't need to, but I also, I was quite happy. I've got money in my own separate private account that I've been saving to live on. So I've got quite a good safety net. So I was happy to spend that much money. It may seem like a lot of money, a lot of purchases, but all I'm trying to do is grow my inventory and just build it really. So yeah, that's what I was left with. So that's what I'll get put through as a taxable income for May. And I'll do that every single month, ready for my end of year. That's not going to be now for another 40 or 18 months, really, because the one due in October is for last year up to April 2018. So yeah, this one won't count until the following year. So yeah, so there we go. Really, really positive month. I'm up to I've only got about 200 items listed on eBay at the moment. As I said, I've not been selling any. Not been listing any, sorry, but I've been selling. So my aim now is to get that back up. I was at 260 at my highest. I want to try and get that up to 300 by the end of next week. So if I can get 100 items listed between now and the end of next week, that'd be amazing. Hopefully start having some more sales coming through, because I say last day has been a bit slow, but yeah, it's not the end of the world. I'm not too bothered. So yeah, what else? Right then, let's going to show you some interesting things that have sold. Oh, my YouTube channel's coming on really, really well. Subscribers are picking up a little bit. I realise I'm never going to pick up massive numbers, but I think I'm up to over 240 now, which is awesome. So thanks everyone. It is really late tonight. Sorry, it's 20 to 1 in the morning now. So I'm going to do really, really quickly. I'm just going to pick some items here, some interesting ones that have sold, and I'll tell you where I've got them from. Where are we? Okay, hopefully this is all still working. Okay, so this is the iPod that I accidentally sold as a 7th gen. So it got returned, gave them a full refund, and relisted it as a 6th gen. Originally paid £5 for this from a local car boot sale. I don't really do the car boots, to be honest. I've only been to 2 in the last 12 months. So most of my stuff, someone's asked me on one of my videos, but most of my stuff I get from charity shops, local charity shops, Facebook Marketplace, occasional thing off Gumtree. And I am working on an advert, local, on local Facebook pages where I'm actually advertising for stock as well. And I've had a few people message me from that, and that's going really well. That's something again I'll cover in a later video. So yeah, £5, sold it for 50 in the end. So take off fees, you've got £5, another £3.50 on PayPal. So I made about 37 quid profit on that, which is great. Didn't work at first. It was completely flat. Took 3 hours to even get any charge into it, and I just thought it was dead. But I took a chance for a £5. But yeah, I was really surprised when it came back on. I had to reset it through iTunes, which was fine. It turned out it was an 80 gig one, not a 120 as it was on the back. But yeah, pleased with that. That's good. So what else do we got? What I've done here, I've just selected some of the more interesting items that I think it'd be worth sort of going through in a bit more detail rather than just go through everything. Little toys, Blu-rays, games is sort of my bread and butter, really. So I don't want to bore you with every single one of them that I've sold, but anything that is a little bit unusual or, fetched a higher price, that's the ones I'm going to take the time to show you and go through what I've sold. This here I picked up from Cash Converters from their website. I don't know what store it was from, but they had a load of Blu-ray steelbooks. They were just all a £5 each, so I bought about 6 or 7 of them. Sold this one for 18 quid. Some Blu-ray steelbooks are stupidly collectible and stupidly expensive. I do collect a few myself. I've just had a lovely one for Father's Day for the Transformers Bumblebee film, which I absolutely love. So yeah, I've got about 12 to 15 steel books, but I don't go crazy on them just for stuff that I really like. But I mean, the artwork on that is absolutely amazing. They look really, really good together. And then that's the inside sort of thing there. But yeah, I think, believe it or not, Rambo, one of the Rambo films on Blu-ray is like one of the rarest steel books you can get, and it goes for several £100s. Unfortunately, this wasn't that one. This is a Netherlands version of the Rambo film, but I'm still quite happy with 18 quid. But yeah, steelbooks well worth keeping an eye out for. Little, really, really good collector's niche in that. It is niche, isn't it? I hear so many American people and they say niche, and every time I hear niche, I'm like, it's terrible. I just want to just sort of scratch the screen. I'm like, it's niche. Why can't you just say it's not? It doesn't rhyme with itch. It's niche. I've got a niche, not a niche. A niche is what I've got in my ear anyway. Right, hang on a sec. Right, next one is this really cool light fitting. This is a little bit unusual. Now, I'm a sucker for stuff like this. This is the kind of thing we have in our home. We've got really loads of like unusual retro and sort of vintage items. And I'm done hard about keeping it, but it just, I don't know, looked like it was going to jump out and attack me. So I decided to sell it. I think I paid a £5 from this from a charity shop in Bangor. It was boxed. It was in immaculate condition. However, one of these little glass thingies on it was broken. So I described that in the listing, and I did it as a buy it now. It's on there a few days, and I got 40 quid for it. Really, really pleased with that. That's kind of like atomic style, it isn't from the 50s. I believe it's only about 10 years old, but I couldn't find a single one like it online. It was made by Focus DIY, so I know it isn't old, but it's really quirky looking. So I included the words atomic Sputnik in the title. Didn't put retro or vintage or anything like that, but I used plenty of descriptive words in there, and that's what you want. You want adjectives in your title, as many possible words as you can for people to find your listings with. You've got 80 characters in there. You make sure you use them all, because every single one of those is a weapon, and that's a way of bringing in more people to your site, to your page. Don't leave any empty characters if you can. Use everything. So that sold really quickly and really well. Okay, what else we got? Let's just check there's nothing embarrassing left open on my tabs here. No, we're all good. Right, that one there. This is I found it at the same car boot sale for 50p. It's like one of the things that Curry's PC World ripped people off with and charged them £40 for. It's basically a disc which shows them how to set up a HD TV. Don't even get me started on Curry's and Dixon's. I paid 50p for that. Sold it for £12.50. It's brand new and sealed. Didn't even need to check it. Just bang it on. Tenner profit. Happy days. I tend to stay away from the cheaper items, but stuff like that, it's a quick tenner. Took me like 3 minutes to list it. 10 quid for 3 minutes work. It's brilliant. I'd take that all day long. That's great. So yeah, that's sold. What else do we have? This next is, I don't know where we stand with this at the moment. Let me just hide this. Right, okay. So this I sold. This is absolutely beautiful. It's a 1990s Nakamichi CD player. Absolutely high-end audiophile, top-of-the-range CD player. It's huge. It's massive. It's like you could sleep on it. It's huge. Even when it's really uncomfortable, but it's been sat in my garage for literally 3 years. I got it from a house clearance, jumbly sale type car boot where I think it cost me £1. Didn't have a power cable on the back. It was missing. It was cut off. So I've just been thrown to my death pile, and I left it there. So I thought one day, you know what, I'll get it out, see if it works. So yeah, I kind of bodged it and put a power cable on the back with electrical tape. Made a note of that on the listing and said, look, you know, it's going to need to be replaced. But you see, by my photos, I made sure to describe all the sort of cosmetic damage on it. Showed it working there. Showed it with the tray open in there with a different display. I had it on for, I think, 200. No, I had it on for 190. But then it actually, someone made me an offer 150 and I took it. So I was like, yeah, that's brilliant. Went through global shipping, sold to Ireland, and then after a week, I had a reply from the customer saying he's got it there and it doesn't work. So I'm thinking, right, okay. So he started a return. He still hasn't returned it yet, so I don't know where we're going to go with that, really. I know for a fact it was definitely working when I sent it. It's one of those I'm really reluctant to sort of, I mean, you've got to accept the return, but I think he's hoping that I'm just going to tell him he can keep it. Well, no, I want him to send it back to me. So I don't care if it costs me, but I want that back to check it myself. But the danger is he's going to send it back and I'll just get a faulty one back, or a different item, or a box of bricks or something like that, you know. So it's really, really hard to prove. And unfortunately, eBay just sides with the buyers with this case. I can't prove that it was damaged in transit or anything like that. So I don't want to go there. It's a really expensive return, but I've just got to take the hit, unfortunately. Okay, next one is a, you can tell I like my vintage hi-fi. This was lovely. This was so cool. And if I had the room, I'd keep it myself. It's a early 80s Iowa high-end cassette deck. I don't know what half these buttons do. I know play and rewind and pause, and that's about it. There's flashy lights, there's record levels, there's different tape quality selectors on it. Really is a nice bit of kit. I paid £15 from this from a local charity shop from the British Heart Foundation. They have really good electrical items in their vintage stuff, and they just put it out for a penny. Or it's not pennies, 15 quid isn't pennies. But I didn't Google it. You know, I've learned now that I don't even use my phone most of the time when I'm out and about. I saw this for 15 quid, thought I might get 50, 60 quid for it. And when I got it home, checked that it worked. And because the good thing with British Heart Foundation is you get like a 3-month warranty with it as well, which is amazing for a second-hand item. Saw that they were going for like between 80 and 90 quid. So I thought well, there wasn't one listed on eBay at the time. I think mine was the only one. So yeah, I listed it high. I put this on as an auction. I never do auctions, but I think it was because mine was the only one that was on there. Show you my photos there, front, corner, other side, top down, thingy opening. I did a few more, but that ended up going for £92 on bids there. So that was amazing. Really, really pleased with that. I think, you know, if yours is the only one of a particular item, or certainly there's only a few of them on there, you should always do it as an auction, especially if, you know, it's got a good price history. So yeah, that was excellent. Really, really good sale. What else do we have? These little fellas are worth looking out for. They're the old now, that's what I call music CDs. Very early ones on CD go for great money, and the very late ones on vinyl go for great money. Early ones, I think like now 1 or 2 on vinyl goes for really good money, but the CDs, I think I'm not sure what the earliest one was on CD, but very early releases of CDs in general are quite collectible now. So I think I might have undersold this one a little bit, for now 13 from 1988, but I got a tenner for it. I probably paid 50p to £1 for it. They're described as fat box. So is your mum. So there's going to be loads of mum jokes in my videos. I'm so sorry, I can't help it. I've just been brought up that way, and it's just sustained me throughout my whole teenage years. So yeah, there will be mum digs, I'm afraid. So yeah, a fat box, and now that's what I call music CD. I didn't even put the word CD in that. What am I doing? I can't believe that. That's shoddy. That's me telling you guys to use up all your space. I even put the word bloody CD in it. Now 13, music, fat box, retro vintage chart. Doesn't say CD. So yeah, that wasn't stay on there long. That sold for a tenner. What else have we got? Okay, this is another part of that Cindy job lot. I don't know if you guys remember me telling you about it. I'm down to the dregs on this now. I've got about 3 or 4 pieces of it left, but there is some clothes and odd items of furniture and a few dolls that I need to list, but they need cleaning because they're pretty rank. All this other stuff has been boxed and in amazing condition, and I've made hundreds off it so far. This here is, it's not Cindy actually, but it's similar, but it's like a hospital set there with all accessories. I had great fun building it. Lovely. I'd much rather be building Lego. Anyone's listening want to sponsor me and chuck me some money for the Stranger Things set, that would be amazing. Thank you. So yeah, that was great. That's part of, I mean, probably equivalent. I probably paid about £3-4 for that, because I'm trying to work out what I do when I buy a job lot of items, and I try and work out the cost price. It's dead easy. You just add up the amount of items you've got and divide that into the amount you've paid for it. So, and then you get like an average cost price per item. So like, say there were 30 items in a job lot, I paid £100 for it. Each item's cost me £3.30. You just do it like that, and then it'll work out in the end. So I paid £3.30, and this one item's cost me, I've made like, you know, £30 profit on it, which is amazing. So yeah, there we go. That's that. That was in great condition, actually. By the way, it was immaculate. This one here, oh, this is ace. There's actually a photo of me as a child. I was actually a child once. There's a photo of me as a child on Christmas morning opening one of these, and it's haunted me for my life, wondering what the hell it was. And then it turned up on Facebook a few months ago, and I was like, oh my God, that's that thing, that's that toy I had. And it's not branded. I think it's made in Czechoslovakia and something, but I just loved it. I love the artwork on it. Real like early 80s sort of retro futuristic style. Absolutely stunning. And it's huge. It's like 18 inches long. It's so big. I couldn't get my hands around it. It's well cool. It's seen better days, but I paid a £5 for it. Sold for £23. Really pleased. A bit sad to let it go, really, but it was just too big, really. There's nowhere to keep it. So yeah, so nice. That's a nice sale. What else did we get? There's only a few more here now. Keeping an eye on my battery. Got myself a really smart, lovely computer as well. It's a Dell Inspiron 7000, which is nice. Really, really good. Okay, right. Got this is good. Got a Star Trek Armada 2. This sells £25 all day long. I have sold these before over the years. Paid 50p for this from a charity shop. Great condition, and sold within 3 days for £25. So yeah, that was great. Always worth keeping an eye out for that. First one doesn't go for quite so much, but the second one always goes for good money. Okay, all these here are part of that huge Transformers collection that I've bought, which so far I've only sold the DVDs and some of the books. I've still got all of the toys left. And just to give it some perspective, I'm nearly about £200 worth of sales so far. Paid £500 for everything. I've got £200 worth of sales solely from DVDs and books, with still more things listed and yet to sell. Now, these things are quite cool. They're the HMV exclusive releases of the first 3 films on DVD and Blu-ray. Now, each one is like a sort of an approximation of Optimus, Bumblebee, and Megatron, and they transform from the CD case into the robot. So it's quite cool. A bit of a gimmick, but yeah, they're quite nice on the shelf. There you go. That's what they look like. They're all right, aren't they? So yeah, Megatron actually looks quite good there, to be honest. Scale's all wrong, but yeah. So yeah, 3 of them, but sold them. They don't go for much, really. I thought they'd go for a bit more than that, but that seemed to be sort of top end. I got £17 for the 3. So yeah, that's cool. I'm super into Transformers, by the way. I'm literally never going to grow up. I'm 40 and counting, and it's just, yeah, toys, games, retro stuff all day long, forever. Got very understanding missus. What we got here? Okay, some Lego Duplo. This came from a charity shop. I paid a bit more for this, but didn't realize it wasn't complete. I paid £9 or £10 for it. Got 30 for it. It took a while to sell. It took like 3 weeks to sell, but in the end, I got £30 for it. So it's about £15-16 profit in the end after fees. No minifigs in that either, or whatever they call the Duplo ones. It's a sort of much chunkier version of Lego. So yeah, that was all right. Got to get it out of the way. These things are cool. Bought these bits of retail arbitrage, which I hate that word. I hate lots of words. Considering I like saying them, I hate lots of these words. Arbitrage. Arbitrage is basically buying something for one price lower and then selling it at a higher price. So yeah, just capitalism, really. So yeah, so I found something for sale in Asda on clearance for £1.90, and that thing was a pack of 4 disposable cameras. So I thought, oh my God, that's amazing. That's got to be mispriced. So I just bought them all up, didn't even scan them or anything, cleared the shelves, bought 9 packs of them. That's all they had left. So they're like £1.90 a pack. Look, there you go. You can see there. I've sold 9 of them, £12.50, including shipping a pack. Oh no, not including shipping. There we go. So yeah, I did really, really well on that. So I was making about £10 profit on each one. So 90 quid profit for like 10 minutes work. Just created one listing, quantity 9, and just sell. And they sold within 2 days. 2 days, because I put on my title there. Just look there. Disposable cameras with flash, weddings, parties, fun pack. So someone typing in wedding cameras, party cameras, fun cameras, my listing is going to come up. So it's ideal just for people like leaving on the table in weddings and things. So it's like, wow, that was really good find. That was ace. So yeah, there we go. That was that. What else? This was, I never thought in a million years that these would be worth money. This was if who remembers the big bass, Big Mouth Billy Bass animated singing fish. You may remember it from Sopranos, where he starts hallucinating and it starts talking to him, and it's really, really freaky. But it goes crazy in the last season of it, I think, if I remember right. So this here, this was just tat. I always just remember this as being absolute tat. They couldn't give these things away. They were in all the cheap shops everywhere. It was flooded with them for about 4 or 5 years, and then they just went away. Well, apparently now they're worth money, because I bought this for £5, and then within a week it sold for 33 quid, and it went global shipping. It wasn't boxed. It was in good condition. It worked. It sang like "Take Me to the River" and everything like that. There he is there. I got a photo of him singing there. How cool is that? Wait a minute. Look at this. I'm going to animate. Take me to the river. There we go. Now, someone specifically asked me if he sang that song, so I was like, yes, he does, and then he bought it. So yeah, it was great, and that went to another country. I'm not sure where it went to. Can't remember off the top of my head, but that sold through global shipping within a few days. So yeah, excellent. I love kitsch stuff. Anything like that is amazing. And last of all of the really cool sales is this. This I bought for 50p, and I couldn't find a single one. I bought for 50p. It's got to be worth it. Now, one Manky Tatty Subaru World Rally Team baseball cap. That there is meant to be white. It's not. It's like a dirty off grey colour. The stitching's really nice, actually. It's all embroidered, loads of detailing on it. Cap's massively misshapen. I think I put a carrier bag in underneath it and scrunched it up just to try and give it some shape. That was listed. I paid 50p for it in the 50p section of Car Boot sale, because it caught my eye, and it's original, it's branded, and it looked vintage. And it went within 2 days, and it went to France, I think. I'll show you some more pictures. There we go. Yeah. I took a photo of the label. So yeah, and that sold for £25 off 50p. What a cool little flip. It's awesome. So keep your eyes open for branded baseball caps, even in the UK, because I know obviously baseball caps aren't as massive over here as they are in America. Some of them go really amazing. I watch sort of Scavenger Life and all those guys' videos, and they sell baseball caps all day long. And I haven't got a clue about, that kind of thing. And I'm certainly not like a sports person or follow a sort of fashion in the UK, but I know that is a really cool sort of vintage cap, and there'd be someone out there that wanted it because it's unusual, and someone who's into rallying would want it. And yeah, and they did, and it sold. So yeah, that was great. Okay, so that's about it really for now. I've gone on long enough. So that is May's sales totals. There'll be one soon actually, really, for the first few weeks in June, unless I might just leave it and just do a monthly one from now on, and just like what sold in June, what sold in July, and so on. So yeah, that's it for now. Let me know in the comments if there's anything in particular you'd like me to make a video on, if it's about something I've discussed or something I haven't even mentioned that you're curious about. If it's not enough to make a whole video on, then I'll certainly try and incorporate it into the next one. I write these without a script, so I've literally just blathered. Hopefully it's recorded this time. So I've just blathered for half an hour, and yeah, I just I don't know, it just comes out of me, and whatever I say gets said. But I'm going to learn to edit properly now. I've got a decent PC. So if you guys want to throw me any questions, I'm happy to answer them, and just stay tuned for more excellent content on the Bay. Thanks for watching. Sleep well. Good night.